Hello, I'm Li Hao. So today we're gonna learn about a special Svelte element. Svelte special element, which is Svelte self. So what is Svelte self? Let's take a look and we shall see. Take a look at an example. So the example that I prepared for you over here is I want to create a visualization for arrays, right? So if I have an array, say the data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm gonna display it like this, right? I wrap the array with a blue box and each of the item with a red box. So you see that this array has 5 items. Nicely done. But sometimes life is not that easy. Sometimes the array is not flat. This array is flat, right? You only have one level. But sometimes some people may create array that are nested. For example, like this, you get nested arrays. So what should you do with it, right? By default, if you don't do anything, if you get an array, you will make it a string by calling like string and wrap it become a string. And when you make an array a string, you get a comma separated value of the item, right? So this is what you get. Yeah, but this is not what we want. We want is wrap this with a blue box and each of the item with red box, and then do it recursively because 3 is another level of the array, right? So what can you do? Probably we can extract this out into another component and call it again, right? Call it recursively. Well, how about call yourself recursively? Because this component itself, we know, already handles array. And we can use ourselves, inside ourselves, recursively when it's an array. And as the title suggests, you can do that with this Svelte special elements called Svelte self. So let's take a look at how we can do this, right? So over here, if we come over here, you see that item, we can check the type of the item, right? So if, say for example, if the item is an array, I use array is array. Then we can come over here and render ourselves, right? So ourself is Svelte.self, and we can pass data to ourselves, right? So here, what we're gonna do is the data is a props, and gonna pass in item, the sub item over here. Okay, pass in data, and if it's not, okay, let me format this nicely, right? So if it's an array, then I'm gonna use myself, and if it's not, which I'm gonna use a else, then I'm just showing myself. So over here, you see, it creates this nicely recursive pattern. So I have a blue box, which is the array itself, and I have 3 red boxes inside, right? One, and then this, two. I have three red box because I have 3 items, and within one of it, I have another a blue box because it's an array, and I create 2, 3, 4, right? 3 items, and then this is a array itself, and I create this thing over here over and over again, right? So when you want to recursively render yourself over and over and over again, you can use this component called Svelte self, and you pass props to it, right? So you can choose to pass or not to pass any props to it, and you can do this recursively, right? Render yourself recursively with Svelte self. So there's a few rules that when you use Svelte self, right? To prevent yourself to unconditionally render yourself again and again and again and reach an infinite loop, you can't use Svelte self outside here, right? So it says Svelte self can only exist inside if, each, or within a slot, right? So inside if, hopefully you are smart enough to not come out with condition like if true and always render myself, right? Hopefully you don't do that at the top level. Of course, this is still kind of safe in a sense where item itself is sorry, what was I trying to say? Yeah. save that this breaks because item sometimes is not an array, it's a data, right? So if you still pass something that is something that is part of yourself, then yeah, you're still okay, you're still safe, right? For example, if I come over here and as long as I wrap it with if, right? Even if I say if always true, then I can come over here and pass like some data that probably supposedly to be lesser than itself, and no, that's not true also. So you have to have a condition to stop that recursive loop. If you have that, then you're safe. Then you don't end up with a unconditionally going all the way down the rabbit hole and never ending. Right, so let me undo all this and let's come back and enjoy and be amazed by this recursive components created using Svelte self. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share this video to the world so that they learn about Svelte self. And as always, click subscribe so that you get notified when the next video is out. So see ya, bye bye.